7th. Speaking of fuck John Fisher, the Schools Over Stadiums initiative, they lost in the Nevada court today. The measure is not going to be on the 2024 ballot. They would have had about 44 days to collect over 100,000 signatures if they had one. They will try again in 2025 or 2026 to get this on the ballot. So maybe a little bit of a blessing in disguise. You have a little bit more time. And also, if you screw up that timeline later, um, and take away that 380 million from John Fisher next year instead of this year, that really fucks with them even more. And you know what? I'm not mad about that. Assuming that it actually does happen. So
To
that's
afford
kind of
his multi-billion-dollar stadium that they don't want to come out and say it's going to be a multi-billion-dollar stadium because it definitely is going to be.
yeah, it's clearing
Well,
too.
you got
It's a boondoggle.
David Sampson still on his podcast, still very doubtful of Las Vegas happening,
Yeah,
just because of the funding. They have no funding. There's no plan. And this is a guy, David Sampson, he's the one that got the
the
Marlin
Marlins.
Stadium.
Mhm.
And, he played all these dirty tricks. He played all the tricks from the dirty book,
Mhm. He's airing the
so
laundry out now.
it's all coming out. And I don't know. Um, I think I'm subscribing to the theory that if the A's play in Sacramento, they're probably never leaving Sacramento. So
I could see that. Now, we didn't really touch base into, well, we kind of did before the show, but you guys were saying that it's going to be millions upon millions of dollars to renovate the Sacramento
Yeah.
State and have
I
it.
was just in Sacramento actually.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next image, Tim. So I was there I think it was Thursday I went. And I saw the Savannah Bananas in Sacramento. So I had a chance to go to River Cats to what
just
is it called?
Sutter Health
It's
or
Sutter Health
whatever.
Park now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to see it without putting too much money into Vivek Ranadive. Like obviously he still gets a little cut, whatever. But um, so Savannah Bananas, that was an absolute blast. I would highly recommend if you're able to get it. It's a tough ticket to get, man. But it was so much fun. The players interact with everybody like they're up in the stands. There's a lot of fun things happening. There's a pitcher that wears stilts. Um, there's all kinds of really good stuff. They're throwing all kinds. They're signing baseballs and throwing them all to all the kids. And the rules are a little bit different than regular baseball. Um, and because of that, they're able to do all kinds of shenanigans. But they still play a 9 inning game, and they play it in 2 hours. They put a 2 hour clock. The game is going to be done in 2 hours, whether they get 9 innings or not. But they always get 9 innings done, man. And so they're respectful of your time as well. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
kids can't stay out till like 10:30 at night to watch a baseball game on a Thursday.
got to be
So, I
studying.
mean, that's right. I mean, but they're like after the game, like they're out in the patio, like out in front of the stands. They're out talking and signing more balls for people. They're singing songs. They have a band, like a little marching band type thing happening. It's just an overall a great experience that I highly recommend. That being said, the stadium itself, that's what I was also looking
Yeah.
for.
So
The speakers, I didn't tell you guys about this yet. The speakers are total shit. Like they have not replaced those speakers since they opened the park 25 years ago. Okay.
that's
Like,
on
like
brand for like the Coliseum.
at any time that they played a song with a little bit of bass in it, you fucking heard the bass, man. Like it started rattling and not in the fun, good, like heart pumping way, more like the oh, you need to get better speakers way.
Yeah.
The lights are just not that great either. They need to upgrade the lights real bad. And
So
the
real quick,
concourse is a little narrow
the
too. I
lights
mean,
the lights is such a good thing here. So
mhm,
the Foul Territory podcast
mhm.
team, they had Mason Miller on,
Yeah,
and they asked Mason Miller,
Oh,
the
I heard
closer
about
for
this.
the A's,
Yeah.
they asked him, "Are you going to do anything cool with your walk up?
yeah.
Kind of like how the Giants do, where they turn off the lights." And Mason Miller said, We can't do that. I was told that if we turn off the lights, there's a good chance that they won't come back on.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the same thing in Sacramento too. It's a good chance they won't come back on.
Well,
Yeah.
we mentioned this a little bit off air, is like it's being floated about 50-60 million dollars in renovations
It's a ton of
uh,
renovations. Yeah.
to at Sutter Health. So it was reported when Howard Terminal and the A's, the city of Oakland, the A's, the Howard Terminal Stadium deal fell apart. They were about $80 million apart, 80-90 million dollars apart. Now the A's. John Fisher's going to go spend $60 million to improve Sutter Health for 3 years, and
No.
then go drop $1 billion on Las Vegas. Like, that makes no sense. That makes financially no sense to do that.
So I wanted to, because I think it's going to end up this way, and I can't wait because I want to see how this is all going to shake out. But I'm curious what you guys think. Let's just say it's not enough to get it done, right? Now the Players Association, MLBPA, gets involved now, and they deem it is not viable for a professional baseball team to play in that stadium, and they will not play in that stadium. What happens next? Like, what's the next step? What do you do?
That's a hell of a question. They almost would be forced back to Oakland, I think. I would think.
Under what ground? Like, Oakland's gonna be like, you don't have a deal. You can't play.
The only way the A's come back to Oakland is if John Fisher has failed in Sacramento, failed in Las Vegas, and he has to sell the team. Like, he finally just waves the flag and says, "I'm out." It just seems like it's never going to be over.
But you see that happening, right? You do see it not being enough.
There's a path.
And the Players Association saying it's not viable.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a path, but I feel like I don't know if John Fisher, like a current owner, has the ability to decide who he's going to sell to. I'm assuming you can sell, like, I could sell a percentage to whoever and take them on as a partner. I could see that, let's say John Fisher does sell the team. I could see him choosing to sell the team to Ronadive just to spite Oakland. Like, that's what I think is probably going to happen, is if he can't get to Vegas and he doesn't have the money to build, or doesn't see the benefits in building in Sacramento, I think he could sell his majority share to Ronadive and still have a minority share, and have Ronadive build the stadium, and you spited Oakland, and you still own half the site. So, I mean, we've been over this. I mean, we've been doing this show for almost 2 years, and in various versions of it.
Yeah.
And Vince, we've talked about this numerous times.
We were talking this pre-pandemic.
This is John Fisher's motivation is always, to me, it's always been like a hit job against Oakland. Like, he's never wanted to be here. And you could go back on my YouTube and see when we were doing the Green and Gold show, and I was extremely critical of Cavill, of John Fisher, that these people are used car salesmen. And I remember people during that time, before the Las Vegas tweet, remember Cavill tweeted the Las Vegas thing, and that's when he burnt the bridges with everybody. Things were getting a little shaky, but that's when he burnt the bridge. That's when he took the matches and burn it. Before then, I remember being at FanFest. I remember being at stadiums, and I would talk shit about Dave Cavill, and people would defend him. And, oh, yeah, he's trying. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Him trolling the Giants out in the Bay, it just seems shady and immature, dude. Like, do you think the guy trolling the Giants in the Bay is really getting a stadium done in Oakland? Just doesn't seem, it's not adding up. As my boss says, 2 + 2 ain't equaling 4, homie. It ain't mathing.
Yeah, the math ain't mathing. Yeah,
it ain't working. So I do believe that if Fisher has to sell the team, it's going to be to somebody that has no affiliations or connections to Oakland. Because if he sold the team to Lacob, he's doing Oakland a solid, and he's
Yeah, of
not going to
course.
do Oakland a solid. So,
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of where Vince was at maybe last year or
Mhm.
so, in the sense of they're they're gone, man. Like they're
Yeah.
gone. Like there's no way in hell that the A's are going to be in Oakland. He will sell them to an owner that will put them in fucking Wyoming. You
Yeah.
know, he will sell the team at a loss before he sells them to a person that will put them in Oakland. The only way the city of Oakland will ever get a Major League Baseball team here is if the A's are gone and an owner buys the current footprint and says, "I'm building a stadium
Yeah.
100% on my dime," and pays the expansion team fees.
Which I think is
Um,
what, 2 billion now or 3 billion now or something
It's
like
going to
that.
be about
Right.
2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think that's going to really be the only shot that the A's have, and I think that's going to come with its own problems because you got cities like Salt Lake, that have money, that already passed bills to give these teams money, to give the leagues money. You got Nashville, you got Portland, you got a lot of cities that are willing to give up money. I think the dream scenario would be what the city of Oakland was trying to do, which was put the A's in. Fine, John Fisher, take the A's, get them a new name, but allow us to get an expansion team
Yeah.
and keep them as the A's. Um, but I just don't see Major League Baseball coming back to Oakland ever.
Yeah, I think I said it a few weeks ago. The next time, if Major League Baseball is back in Oakland, it's going to be when the league expands to at least 36 teams. Like it's not happening when they go from 30 to 32. It's for it to happen, it would have to be when they go from 32 to 36, and they do
Yeah,
like
and
4
that's
cities at once. And we're talking
Your dogs are going wild over there,
we're
boy.
talking 25 years from now. Like that's
they
that's
heard
when
John
that's gonna
Fisher,
happen.
man. They heard John Fisher
Yeah,
going ape shit.
yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you, Vince. Yeah. I mean,
I think that's the more
more than that,
realistic. Yeah,
it
if
may
that
it may
if it
it may
happens.
it may take somebody buying an already MLB team then moving it. You know what I mean? Like it may
And
not even be a new team.
I would hate to get a team like that too.
Me too. Me
I
too.
don't want
But
to
but
steal
I think
somebody else's team.
I agree with you. But I
But I
think
don't even
MLB
like it.
has this vendetta against Oakland at this point. You know?
Right.
It's weird. It's so weird. I have never seen a city hated on so much.
Yeah.
Like, name a city that people hate who've never even been to it, and all they say is all the worst things about a major city. I've been to San Francisco. There are neighborhoods in San Francisco that are 10 times worse than what's going on in Oakland. And I grew up here. And I'm not defending the nonsense that happens in Oakland, but I've been to New York. I saw the nonsense there. I've been to Chicago. I saw nonsense there. Like, I've been to these major cities, man. I've seen the nonsense. I've seen the same bullshit. But
Yeah.
the hatred that the nation has, that sports fans have for Oakland, or however you want to phrase it, is weird. It's
Yeah.
weird. And I think at the end of the day, I was talking to somebody about this at our local watering hole, Tyler, about there's this for Las Vegas to be valuable and have the A's, they have to be more valuable, and Oakland has to be less value. And this devaluing of other people and other communities, I find is really strange and really weird, that there is a path that both cities can get what they want. Everybody is excited. I think we all agree that sports deserves to be in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas fan deserves to have a team that they can celebrate. But nobody is really excited for the A's.
Yeah.
They're
It's
excited for baseball to be there, but they're not excited for the A's.
I feel like I said this pre-pandemic on our on our Green and Gold show, man. I said like they want this guy, this owner? No, they don't. And look at this. Who was fucking right? Who's the oracle yet again? It's your boy Vinny G. It's Sam and it's Tyler. We've been saying this for
For
a long
years,
time, man.
dude.
Years, fucking years.